Welcome back in. We're not talking musicals in that segment. Madisonville Marine brings you this portion of our program. You see the website right there. They are known as much for their customer service as their huge selection and terrific prices. Bob, you bought a used boat from Madisonville Marine. They took care of it like a new boat, did they not?
Yes, they did. Anytime that I've had the smallest problem, and the only problem I had was the smallest problem, and it was taken care of immediately.
It was something with seats, wasn't it?
Yes.
Like a,
It was a factory problem that they took care of.
Madisonville Marine took
Yes.
care of. That was a used boat. Madisonville Marine, no better place to buy a boat. Trust me on that. All right, back to our fill-in-the-blank questions. We got 2 in this segment, so we'll kind of get through them quickly here. Top reason UT will win the East Division is blank.
Josh Dobbs. I think he is far and away better than any other quarterback in the East right now. Now, that may change.
Right.
And every year the SEC has some quarterback that comes out of nowhere that plays really well. But just on paper going in, I just think he's a lot better than anybody else at quarterback in the East.
All right, we got a Josh Dobbs. Chuck.
I'm going to go with leadership, and that's something that has been developed in the past 2 and 3 years. And I think that also carries over to depth. But I mean, I like what you have here, and I like the fact you had some players come back that didn't have to come back.
Okay. Give me a, Mike Strange will go to you next, what I'm looking for. Fill in that blank and then give it to me in a sentence why you're going there.
I just think Tennessee has the best combination of talent and experience in the East.
Okay, well, that's 2. Is it talent or experience? Or is it just
It's the combination.
That's the most
you're
important
Cavaliers
duo.
again?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I did
I
leadership.
think it's the combination of 5 things.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
think that's Cavaliers.
All right, very good. We're good with it.
I'm going to go dominant running game.
Okay, dominant running game. I'm going to go talent.
Yeah.
Now, why do you need to explain running game? It's pretty obvious. They
Yeah.
lean on the running game. I'm just going to go talent. I think when you look at the rosters, they've recruited well. They've got people back, as you say. I think this is the year that it should come together for you. So I think talent-wise is why you would win the East. All right, let's go to the next one here. Top reason UT won't win the East Division. We'll go the other way. Bob Hodge.
You know, this is, I'm going to use one word and have to give a little explanation. I'm going to say psyche.
Okay.
I think when you run into that 4-game stretch, which will mean how successful or unsuccessful Tennessee's season is, that do you beat Florida? If you do, I think you can run out there and be the East champion. I think if you lose, and especially if you lose in a horrendous way, and the last 3, I think it's the last 3, have been horrendous, then it damages your psyche.
Psyche. All right. Mike Strange.
The number one reason they will not win the East is if Florida or Georgia are better than they think we are. And that's exactly what happened last year. Everybody thought Florida was going to be down last year, and by golly, they weren't.
What if they are who we think they are?
All right.
Then
Jimmy.
Tennessee will win.
What's the reason they won't?
I had 2, but I'll go with the inability to finish games.
I
thought it bit them
carry
last.
over.
It bit them last year. Can they get over that? Which might also play into the psyche as well.
Right.
But I think that's a part of it.
Chuck.
The first thing I thought of was injuries. If you have that rash of injuries, remember last year, before you even played your first game, how many guys you lose that were key guys? And I think that would be it. Would be, if you have, 3, 4 key injuries.
I'm going to go with closer to what Mike Strange said here. I think it's you have more talent on paper, but how many times do we say that the SEC media goes down there, they make their picks, and they're right like 3 times out of 25 years? The SEC has a way of making division favorites not win the division. Yeah. I mean, it is a tough league. So even though you're looking at it saying, well, better than them, better than them, better than them, any given Saturday, all it takes is 2 losses and you may be out of the race. If you lose to Florida and they run the table, you don't win the East. So if you lose to Georgia and they run the table, you don't win the East.
Exactly.
I think if they don't win it, it's because you're just playing in one of the toughest conferences in America, and I think it bites somebody every year that's supposed to be a division favorite, or both teams. Alabama seems to be the only one that can kind of escape the SEC's gravity and stay high. All right, when we come back, what is one thing, if we could change one thing about this team or staff, their decision making, that kind of stuff, what would it be? We'll tell you. Come on back on the Sports Source.